Okay, I'm recording now. You know what? Because of the recording, I just started it. I'm just gonna go back one slide. And if you're watching the recording right now, just pause so that you have all the notes from this page. Okay, now I'm going to keep going. So the largest of the three triangles, what is the hypotenuse? I think Perla said it. Good. That one is 12. So if I'm looking at this large, this larger of the three triangles, the hypotenuse is 12. What is the shortest side? What is the shortest side of the purple triangle? Anyone? You can just use your eyes. Good. The shortest side is this one right here, Z. Z is shorter than Y. Y and Z are the two legs of the triangle, and Z is much shorter. So my shortest side is Z, so I'm going to write that over here in the short end, and then the remaining one is Y. So that's my big triangle. Now let's look at the medium one. Okay. Medium triangle. What is the hypotenuse of the medium triangle?
Y.
Good. The hypotenuse is Y. And I see that Jalen said X is the shorter one. Good. So this is X, this is Y. And then what is the long side? Good, 10. Cool. And then this little guy right here, let's go ahead and mark him down. What's his hypotenuse? Good, Z. Shortest side? 2. And the longer side is X. Awesome. So pulling all three triangles apart just is much more easy to visualize what's going on, because now I am able to set up my proportions. And what we're going to try to figure out is all three missing sides. I'm going to try to find X, Y, and Z. So let's start. Give me anyone at all can give me one part of the proportion. So we can start off wherever we really want. Pick any two sides to start comparing. Okay, so X and Z. So we're looking at these two. All right, cool. So X over Z. And then what you want to do is try to see, is there a way, because remember what you want to do, what you want to end up with is, for example, Y over here and Y over there. You kind of want to see if there's a way to get the same variable within the proportion. If I do X over Z, is there a way to get the same variables here? No, unfortunately, no. So X over Z sounded good at first, but it's not really going to work out. Try coming up with, and that's okay, Tyrone, we're learning. Try coming up with one variable and one number. So like Perla has Y over 10. Y over 10. Well, if I have Y over 10, what else can I set up which will help me get another Y in there? Oh, Y over 12, I'm sorry. Y over 12. Okay. Y over 12, and then on the other side, oh, Janelle's has it, 10 over Y. So notice how I did, and I can color code it too, because I know I have several different variables here. So y over 12, and then 10 over y. See that? So small over big equals small over big. Okay, well now let's actually see what happens when I do my cross multiplication. What do I end up with here? Y squared is equal to 120. Good. Well, what can I do to get rid of that exponent? Because I have y squared, but I want to know what y is on its own. There we go, Perla. So remember that if you have an exponent of 2, when you have an exponent of 2, the opposite of that is the square root. So what we can do is take the square root of both sides to cancel out the exponent. So this cancels out my exponent. I have y equals the square root of 120. Now, can you take the square root of 120? Is that a perfect square? No, but we're going to want to simplify this number. So let's go ahead and simplify. The square root of 120. What factors of 120 are perfect? So if you have 120, you know that's 1 times 120, 2 times 60, keep going. 3 times 40, 4 times 30. What about 5? 5 times anything? 24. 6 times 20. 7, 8, 9, any of those? What's the next one? 8 times 15. 8 times 15. And I think the last one is would be 10, right? 120 is not divisible by 9. So 10 times 12. Okay, which of those numbers is perfect? 4, good. 4 is a perfect square. So that's our match. That's what we want. So this is the same as 4 times 30, which equals the square root of 4 times the square root of 30. And the square root of 4 is 2. So we got 2 times the square root of 30. That's our final answer. So y equals 2 root 30. All right, we got y. Any questions on how we got y? All right. So now let's try to get another variable. So we got y. That's all good. Can I come up with another proportion to help us get a different variable? Maybe see, let's take a look at these two triangles. So x over 10 equals good 2 over x. Oops. 2 over x. Good. Small over big, small over big. We're good to go. Cross multiply. What do we get? Good. Now I'm just going to write it the other way, Perla. So I'm just going to write x squared equals 20. But you could write it both ways. All right. We take the square root of both sides. And now I got to get, okay, the square root of 20. Same idea, square root of 20. So how can I rewrite, what two factors can I use here? Good, Emily, 4 times 5. So it's the square root of 4 times the square root of 5. And we know that the square root of 4 is 2. So I end up with 2 root 5. And that is my x, 2 root 5. Cool, cool. Well, we only got one left. And notice in the first example, we did the purple triangle and the green triangle. In the second one, we did the purple with the orange, or the green with the orange. So what's the last combination to try? Which two triangles contain the letter Z? Because that's the one we're missing.
The big and small one.
The big one and the small one. So those are the ones we want to look at now. All right, go ahead and think about what proportion you can set up in this one. Z over 12. Okay. And then 2 over Z. Awesome. All right, here we go. Cross multiply. I get Z squared equals 24. So go ahead and see on your own, try to get what do you get when you simplify the square root of 24? Think about it, do it on your own, and we'll see if we get the same answer. Good, Perla got 2 times the square root of 6. That is definitely correct. 24 is 4 times 6. So this becomes square root of 4 times the square root of 6. So 2 root 6. 2 root 6. Quick maths. Okay, so that is our first example of doing it. It's definitely going to take a little bit of practice to set things up correctly. But once we do, we're going to be doing quite a few of them today. So remember that one thing you can always do is split up all the triangles to visualize it a little bit better. If you're like me, like if I look at that big triangle that's all divided, like that really confuses me. So if you're like me and it helps to split them up and to draw them individually, then that's a really good strategy to do. So let's go ahead and try this one. We're trying to, actually we're going to do the same thing. We're going to find x, y, and z, all 3 of them. So starting with, let's just draw them out. Big, medium, small. Tall, grande, venti. Okay. Wow, that's the ugliest triangle I've ever drawn. I'm going to do it one more time. All right. So here we go. There's my 3 triangles. Let's see what we've got in fact, let's do this. If you know the answer, if you feel like you want to fill it in, you can use the annotate button, but do it as a text instead of like writing it, so it's a little bit neater. And I'll say this, the bottom one, the bottom leg, that's the shorter side for all three of them. It's a little hard to tell, but let's make that one the shorter one, and then the other one will be the longer one. So see if you can fill in some of these blanks. Use the annotation tool and see what you can get. Anybody? No one wants to fill anything in?
Miss, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What is the big triangle standing on? Like, what side is it standing on? Because I can't see it. I can't visualize it.
So the biggest triangle is this one. And okay, so Jalen just filled in the hypotenuse, which is 12. So remember, I labeled it. So the bottom is the shortest side. So what's shorter, Y or Z?
Why?
Y is the shorter side. So we're going to make that one the bottom. And then Z will be this one. Okay, makes a little bit more sense? Cool. Okay, so keep filling things in that case. We got the biggest one. Now see what else you can fill in. Good, Jalen. Good. So far, so good. Something that always helps me is to visualize the hypotenuse. So what's the hypotenuse of the middle triangle? The medium, the grande. Z. Yeah, so go ahead and label that one. For me, looking at the hypotenuse is the first thing I do because that's the most easy to identify.
Miss, I thought you wanted us to find the like what they how do I explain it? Like the proportions, you know, where you do the proportions and find out what each side. That's what I thought we were doing. Oh my gosh.
No, we're just labeling each side right now. That's all we're doing. So I've got a yellow triangle. I've got a blue triangle. I'll relabel this one. And what about the smallest one? What's the hypotenuse of the smallest triangle? Good. The hypotenuse is Y. Make that red, Jalen. And so therefore the missing side is X. Cool, cool. Okay, so we've got our labels. Oh, I'm sorry, I just deleted that by accident. We've got our labels. Now we can begin. Okay, let's go ahead and do it. So starting with, let's start with X. In order to find X, which two triangles should I be comparing? Which two triangles both contain X? Grande and tall, good. The middle one and the shortest one, smallest one. Those both have the X, so those are the ones that we're going to want to use. Okay, now I see a slight problem. Hold on. We might have something wrong. Let me just double check. Oh yeah, it's a little hard to tell, so this is nobody's fault, but I believe that the X and the 7 are switched. So let me fix that. Okay. So there's 7 and then X. Okay, that's a little bit better. Let's go ahead and set up our proportion. So if I'm trying to find X, I want to make sure both sides of my proportion have X in them. What can I write?
X over 7
X over 7.
and 5 over x. Why did I say that so loud?
X over 7. Oh, that 7's a little hard to see. Hold on. I'll pick this. X over 7 and then 5 over X. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and cross multiply. And what do I get?
That will give us x squared equals 35.
Good. X squared equals 35. Now I take the square root of both sides. And can I simplify the square root of 35?
Miss, does 35 have more factors than 7 and 5?
Good question. Does it? Oops, 5 times 7.
That fence is too small. What am I doing?
I think that's it. So are any of those factors perfect?
No.
Nope. So we just leave it. We just leave it. Square root of 35. 5.9, okay, sure. So we found X, now let's go ahead and find Y. Which two triangles contain Y? Which ones should I use?
We should use, okay, we should use tall and venti.
Tall and venti. The biggest one and the smallest one. Okay. Here we go. Proportion time. Now, Perla, you're not allowed to speak. Let's get some other volunteers in the chat or out loud. Give me a proportion. Give me.
I didn't text, but Pearly keeps stealing the answers.
Okay, well, now's your chance to shine, Jalen. What can I write? We're trying to find Y, so we want to make sure we have a Y in that proportion. Good. Y over 5. So she's doing big over small. So Y over 5 equals 12 over Y. Cross multiply. What's 5 times 12? 60. Are there any factors of 60 that are perfect? Good. 4 and 15. Yeah. 4 times 15. And 4 is a perfect square. So Y, when you take the square root, equals the square root of 4 times 15. So Y is 2 times the square root of 15. There it is. Questions on finding X, questions on finding Y. Questions, questions? Okay. Now I want you guys to try this third one on your own, and then we'll do it together. So now we're trying to find z. So pick the correct triangles and then try and create your proportions. Take about 3 minutes to do so. Okay, just a few more seconds remaining. And time. Okay. So finding z, which two triangles am I comparing now? Venti and grande. Not that's grande and tall. We're looking for z.
No, I missed.
Fix that. What is happening? There we go. Okay. There it is. Okay, what's my ratio? What's my proportion? Z over 12 equals 7 over z. Good. So z, I'm using orange, right? Z over 12 equals 7 over z. Beautiful. Okay, crossing, multiplying, we get, what's 7 times 12? Good, 84. So z squared is equals 84. So when we take the square root of both sides, how do I simplify the square root of 84? So what are factors of 84? 4 times what? 4 times 21, yeah. 4 times 21. So this is the square root of 4 times the square root of 21, and the square root of 4 is 2. So 2 times the square root of 21. There we go. Questions on these so far, and they're definitely a little trickier than what we've been working on, but at the end of the day, we're still following those proportions. Cross multiply, get an answer. How do we feel? Any questions? Good. Okay, now we've learned it the hard way, but you know sometimes there's little shortcuts we can take. So I want to share with you a shortcut that you can use. You do not need to use it, but you can use when you're working on these problems. So let me go ahead and I'm going to stay on the screen. Let's take a look at when we were finding x. When we were finding x, we had to do x squared equals 35, right? Like that's what we ended up with. Well, take a look at where that's located. Here's x. And where did we get 35? We got it from these two numbers, right? We did 5 times 7 is 35. So if you remember the altitude squared is equal to the hypotenuse. When you multiply those two values, that's what you end up with. So like, do we see where that comes from? The x and then the 35? So that's kind of one shortcut that you can take a look at. Let's look at here. We had y squared equals 60. Y is over here. Now, where did we get 60 from? What did we multiply to get 60?
Oh, 5 times 12. So 5 times 5 plus 7.
Right. 5 plus 7, right? So 5 times 5 plus 7. What about the last one when we're finding z? Where did we get 84 from?
Oh, we did the same thing except that 5 plus 12, but with 7 basically.
Yeah, this time it was 7 times 5 plus 7, or 7 times 7 plus 5. So I do that because sometimes, like when you pick up on those patterns, it actually makes life a lot easier. But we're going to do it on the next example. I'm going to try to do it that way. So we're going to try to do it that way in the next example. Let me clear. Okay, here we go. So in the diagram below, ABC, angle ABC is a right angle, AC is 12, and AD is 8, and the altitude is drawn. Okay, so they filled in almost everything, but I can fill in one more thing. What can I fill in? I know the DA is 8, CA is 12, so what do I know? Good, Jalen. CD is 4. Can kind of fill that in. Okay. Following my little rule, the side that I'm looking for BC. It's this one right here. And I'm just going to highlight this angle. You always want to highlight not the right angle, but the other angle. So because of my little trick, I know x squared is equal to 4 times 4 plus 8. So 4 times 12. So x squared equals 4 times 12. And like Perla said, yes, that's 48. X squared equals 48. Take the square root of both sides. And what does that simplify to? 48 splits up into what? What two numbers? Four and 12. So yes, 4 and 12 works. So let me actually write these down. 1 times 48. We got 4 times 12. We got 3 times 16. Anything else? Oh, 24. Tyrone had 2 times 24. Good. Okay, that's a pretty good list. And remember, you always want to find a perfect square, but you also want to find the biggest perfect square. So yeah, 4 is a perfect square, but which one is even bigger? Which factor is another perfect square on this list? Yeah, 16. 16 is a perfect square. 6 is not a perfect square, Jalen. Can you take the square root of 6? Okay, didn't think so. But yeah, 6 is a factor, but it's not a perfect square. So 4 works, but it's not the biggest one, so we're going to go with 16 times 3. 16 times 3. What's the square root of 16? What's the square root of 16? 4. We got 4 root 3. B is our answer. So I did it with the shortcut. The shortcut might work for some of you, but some of you probably won't want to use it, and that's totally okay. Remember, shortcuts are there only if you understand how to use them. So I'm also going to do this kind of the longer way to do it. So let's just think about it. We're looking for x. I know that this blue triangle contains x. Which other triangle also contains x in it? Oh, Miss Deriskar is calling me. Give me one moment. All right. Can you guys hear me right now? I'm talking to you, students.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can hear me. Okay. I have Mr. Paramore on the phone. He's on speaker. Let's see if you can hear him.
Hey guys, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome! Woo!
Yes.
I just pulled up your algebra scores from when you took the test, and you all passed.
Wait, hold on. Hold on a second.
Did you all hear
Yay.
that? Congratulations! You all passed your EOC.
Hold on a second. I will currently take off my headphones and say, let's fucking go! Oh shit!
The light, the shiny
Yes.
light,
Are you serious, bro?
Jaguars.
They are
Well,
all,
did we get
you
free
should see them
pizza?
on the screen right now, Mr. Paramore. I've got some very excited students right now.
You know, wait, Miss Lopez, you wanna know something cool?
Just meant to you as well.
What's
So
something cool?
you get to celebrate as well, ma'am. So
Aw.
take the next 10 minutes and just love on your babies.
I will. They deserve it. They wholeheartedly do. So we will. We will for sure. Thank you so much for this happy news.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye. Have a good afternoon. Good job, guys. Oh my God. I'm so proud. I'm so proud. Isn't that such a big relief?
Yeah, finally, no, we all passed, right? Yeah, all of us.
All passed, exactly.
Let's
So
go.
That is some big news. I don't know the particular
funny is I'm
breakdown.
going
I
to
don't
the
know
school
yet if
today.
you guys got a 3, a 4, or a 5. But I think they're gonna email me the scores themselves, and then I can speak privately with each of you. To
Miss, do you think it's available on our portal now?
It might be. Do you want to go ahead and
Yes, yes.
take a moment and check? I'm gonna pause the recording, but I need some.
Okay, we back. So we did this the easy way. Now let's just kind of do it one more time the long way. I have my small blue triangle, and we're looking for X. So which other triangle also contains X?
Or venti one.
The big one, right? So this large one. Okay, so I have the large one. I'll pull it out. And let's label the large one. I know it's X. I have 12. And we don't really care about the third side because that's not what we're looking for. Then we've got the small triangle.
Miss, it's working now. I have to download the report. I'm scared. I don't want to download it.
She's about to send me a she's about to send me the picture of it.
Miss, I got a 5.
Yay! Congratulations!
Wait, where do you download it?
You go to your portal and go where it says FCAT scores, and then where it says assessment report, you press that and it's gonna automatically download it, and then it's gonna show you
Okay.
what test you've taken.
You got a 5.
Oh my god.
Congratulations, Perla. Wow, I'm so proud of all of you guys. I'm so proud. Yay, Janelle's, congratulations! Is it working now for most people? Still no, Tyrone?
Miss, do you know what the score is for like passing?
Let me look it up. I
Like,
have it. I have to
range?
find it. Like the minimum score
Yeah, I think I got the minimum.
for getting a 5?
Yeah.
Okay, let me check.
Where do I download it again?
You go to FCAT, you see where it says FCAT scores, it's a blue button. It's in the same row where it says electronic gradebook. Do you see it?
I can't log in.
Oh, he's having issues logging in. Okay, so the minimum for a 5 is a 532.
Oh, I got a 543.
Nice. So you were well within there. Good job.
Yay.
This thing lagging.
Jalen, yours probably hasn't uploaded because it should say Janelle's the minimum for a level 5 is a 532. Jalen, you got a 4. Oh my god, amazing. Good job. Nice. Congratulations. Janelle's, you got a 522. Yeah, so you were about 10 points off from a 5, which doesn't seem like a lot, but on the EOC, that's actually you were. It's not like you were super close, like or something like that. Like you were solidly a 4. Tyrone, you got a 500 level. Oh my goodness, good job.
I can't log
Level
in
3.
through the portal.
And we're just gonna Rio's just gotta take your patience, okay? Because it wasn't working before.
I'm not patient. Everyone else is
I
telling their score.
know.
Rios,
I know, I'm sorry.
try using another internet browser. Cause when Chrome wasn't working, I tried not Internet Explorer, Firefox, and then Firefox wasn't working, so I tried Chrome again, and then it worked.
All right, y'all. So Rios, keep trying. Let me just finish this problem we're on so that we can finally finish because class is almost over. But can anyone set up the proportion real quick for this? X over 4 equals 12 over x, yeah. So we end up with x squared equals 48, just like we had before. So that led to getting x equals the 4 times the square root of 3. All right, you guys, let me go ahead and